From the Millersville University Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kyle Elliott here with the short-term forecast and video discussion issued on Monday, August 5th. Well, the first weekend of the month really kicked off with a bang, at least in terms of severe weather across northern Maryland, southeastern PA, and the lower Susquehanna Valley. A vigorous, slow-moving disturbance traversing the region from west to east sparked numerous showers and locally strong to severe thunderstorms Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. Those storms were responsible for widespread reports of wind damage across the region. In fact, Millersville really bore the brunt of the storms. Later Saturday afternoon and evening, there were multiple downed trees and power lines around campus, so we really took it on the chin here late in the day on Saturday. In addition to the localized wind damage, there were also reports of flash flooding, not only in low-lying and poor drainage areas, but also on some smaller streams and creeks in parts of southwestern Lancaster, southeastern York, northern Adams, and southern Cumberland counties. In these areas, 3 to as much as 5 inches of rain fell in just a few hours time span. So the weather really was wild on Saturday. Unfortunately, there's going to be little rest for the weary this week. There's going to be a slow-moving cold front that's going to sag southward across the Commonwealth from Tuesday into Wednesday, and that's going to be responsible for more localized flash flooding and wind damage. And then we're going to have to deal with what's left of what's currently Tropical Storm Debbie over the southeastern United States. That's going to bring potentially more localized flash flooding and very heavy rain to parts of the mid-Atlantic states later in the week. So I'll cover that in the medium range video. But as far as the short-term forecast, let's start by taking a look at our daily climatology. I'm expecting a high of 94 degrees this afternoon at Millersville. This morning's low was 69. Both of those numbers are above the average high of 85 and the average low of 63 for August 5th. Today's record high was 102, set in 1930, with a record low of 45, set in 1951. Taking a look at the sky cam from the John Wright restaurant looking east across the Susquehanna River into Lancaster County, well, we really see those hazy skies out there. There's not going to be very many clouds at all in the sky today. Today's really going to be the quietest weather day of the week by far, but you do have some hazy sunshine out there. It's going to be another hot and rather humid day. Highs should generally be in the low to mid 90s, but dew points are going to fall into the low to mid 60s this afternoon. So heat indices should be at least several degrees shy of the century mark. Now, even though the heat is not as extreme enough for advisory criteria, it's still going to be essential if you have prolonged outdoor plans to drink plenty of fluids, wear light-colored, loose-fitting clothing, and take frequent breaks from the heat in an air-conditioned room or building, because dehydration can still occur in a short amount of time with the hot, hazy sunshine at these high temperatures. As we take a look at the visible satellite, well, you see exactly what I was talking about. There's very few clouds across the state. Again, today's going to generally be mostly sunny and dry across the lower Susquehanna Valley and southeastern PA. As we take a look at the European model for 8 p.m. this evening, you'll notice Tropical Storm Debbie still over northern Florida. But more importantly for the short-term forecast, I want you to focus on this cold front draped across northern PA this evening, and this other cold front and disturbance moving eastward through the Midwest. Well, these are essentially going to merge and combine forces over the next 24 to 30 hours. Now, this cold front across the Commonwealth is going to very slowly sag farther south. It's not moving quickly at all. So after a mainly clear, warm and muggy Monday night with lows in the 70s, that front is still going to be over central or south central parts of the state late in the day tomorrow. And you can see this disturbance that is currently in the Midwest has now reached the Ohio Valley later tomorrow afternoon. And this cold front and disturbance are going to serve as the focal points for more widespread showers, slow-moving, heavy drenching thunderstorms from later tomorrow afternoon through Wednesday, because that front, believe it or not, is actually going to stall along the Mason-Dixon line or just south of it on Wednesday. Now, the exact location of where this front stalls is going to determine who sees the heaviest rainfall. Some of the recent trends have suggested that this front actually stalls north of the Mason-Dixon line, and if the 3-kilometer NAM's right, it actually stalls out across central PA. So we'll just have to see exactly where this front stalls out, but somewhere across the region is going to receive some locally heavy rainfall. Now, I want to back up and take a look at the mesoscale HER model for late tomorrow afternoon and early in the evening hours. You can see these widespread, heavy, drenching, slow-moving thunderstorms that have developed along that frontal boundary and out ahead of that disturbance across the Ohio Valley. 3 hours later, you still notice that these heavy showers and storms are impacting the region. The HER actually shows this small squall line feature moving southeast across central parts of the state tomorrow evening. So if that occurs, there could be a swath of wind damage across central and even parts of eastern PA late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. I do expect the wind damage to be more isolated than what the HRRR is showing, though, but these locally heavy rainfall totals could exceed 2 to 4 inches in parts of eastern PA and the Lehigh Valley. I think right now the area that's most at risk for flash flooding of streams and creeks extends from central PA along north of the Turnpike and into parts of the Lehigh Valley and perhaps the Poconos, especially if this front stalls out a little bit farther north, which is what it's starting to look like may happen. So if this occurs, then those are the areas that would actually pick up the widespread 2 to 4, locally up to 5 inches of rain. And you can see that the HRRR shows that exact outcome, with the heaviest rainfall from central PA eastward into the Lehigh Valley. Areas north of the Turnpike are the hardest hit, and east of generally Interstate 99, according to the HRRR. If the 3-kilometer NAM's right, well, you also see this bullseye of heavy rain across central PA, but it also shows some isolated higher totals across northern Maryland and parts of the northern Delmarva region. So again, we'll just have to see exactly where this front sets up. But if I back up a few slides, you'll notice that 6-hour flash flood guidance values are still between 2 and 5 inches across most of the region. So it's going to take a lot of rain in a short amount of time to cause flash flooding on streams, creeks, and rivers. So again, this is mostly a low-lying and poor drainage flash flooding concern later tomorrow into Wednesday, but just be aware that in some areas that get 3 to 5 inches of rain, there could be some flooding on area streams and creeks. As we take a look at the short-term Campus Weather Service forecast, mainly clear, warm and muggy tonight, 72. Partly sunny, hot and humid with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm on Tuesday, high 90. And expect those heavier showers and storms tomorrow night. And they'll stick around on Wednesday with that front overhead or nearby, cloudy and much cooler with scattered showers and thunderstorms, high 74. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the short-term forecast. Tune back in next Monday for the latest edition. Until then, stay cool out there this afternoon and keep an eye on the sky over the next 24 to 48 hours for those big, locally heavy, gusty showers and storms later tomorrow afternoon into Wednesday.